In the heart of the great Yoruba land where mighty kings ruled and powerful warriors walked the earth, there was one man whose name became legend. Sango, the fearless king of Oyo, the Orisha of thunder. Oyo Ile, the ancient capital of the Oyo Empire. The land is rich with tradition, ruled by mighty kings and blessed with the whispers of the gods. The palace of Alaafin, Oranmiyan, the bustling markets filled with traders in colorful Ankara fabrics, the rhythmic beat of bata drums, and the flickering torches that light the night. The sound of thunder rumbles, then fades into a bustling kingdom. In a time when gods walked among men, a child was born, one whose name would be etched in the thunder, whose fury would shake the earth. This is the story of Sango, king, god, warrior, and legend. Sango was born to Oranmiyan, the Alaafin of Oyo, and Torosi, a Nupe princess. His birth was marked by strange occurrences. Lightning struck a tree, and the skies rumbled as if announcing the arrival of a deity. The Babalawos, priests, consulted the Ifa oracle and declared, "This child is not ordinary. He carries fire in his soul and thunder in his veins. But beware, his power is both his gift and his doom." The sound of a blacksmith hammering, warriors training, and villagers cheering. One evening, young Sango, barely 10 years old, sat by the palace fire when a spark from the flames suddenly leaped towards him. Instead of burning him, it swirled around his fingers like a tiny storm. The servants gasped. "The fire knows him," one whispered. "He is chosen," another said in awe. But Sango himself was afraid. His mother Torosi took his hands in hers and whispered, "You must not fear your power, my son. Fear will make it control you, but wisdom will make you control it." It is said that from birth he carried the power of the gods. His eyes burned like flames, his voice shook the earth, and his presence commanded fear and respect. The mother remembers Sango was different from other children. His fiery temper and insatiable hunger for strength were evident from a young age, yet he was haunted by nightmares of fire consuming everything he loved. The elders noticed that whenever he was angry, the air around him became hot, and sparks flickered in his hands. As he grew, he became skilled in the art of war, diplomacy, and Yoruba traditions, preparing him to rule. Sango was not born an ordinary man. He was a prince of Oyo, raised by warriors, trained in the art of battle, and destined for greatness. But what made him different was the fire in his soul. Lightning cracks in the sky as Sango, young and strong, swings his double-headed axe. At age 16, Sango had his first real battle. A rival kingdom attacked a nearby village. The Oyo warriors fought bravely, but when Sango raised his double-headed axe in anger, lightning struck the enemy camp, setting it ablaze. His power had awakened. A rival king scoffs, underestimating him. Rival king, mocking, "What is a man without an army?" Sango raises his hands to the heavens. Boom! Thunder crashes, and the rival king falls to his knees in terror. With his unmatched strength, Sango conquered kingdoms, expanded Oyo's borders, and became the most feared king in all of Yoruba land. As a warrior prince, Sango led great battles, conquering territories and expanding the Oyo Empire. His charisma and might made him beloved by some and feared by others. In the royal palace, laughter, music, and the scent of burning incense filled the air. That night, while others celebrated, Sango sat alone, troubled. His friend and chief warrior, Timi, found him and said, "You have the power of the gods, but you are still a man. Never forget that." Sango took 3 legendary wives. But even the strongest of men are not immune to love. And Sango loved 3 women. Sango and Oya sparring with swords. She matches his strength, their eyes locked in fierce passion. Oya, a woman of fire, wind, and battle, the fearless warrior, a goddess of the winds and storms. Oya matched Sango's fire with her own storm. She was bold, passionate, and fought alongside him in battle. Oba preparing a meal for Sango, her face full of love. Oba, the lawyer, gentle and devoted queen. The first wife by tradition, Oba was fiercely loyal, but overshadowed by Osun and Oya, longing to be Sango's favorite. Sound of soft laughter as Osen dances, golden ornaments jingling. Osun, the gentle, wise, and cunning queen, a goddess of beauty and fertility, she was Sango's source of peace and wisdom, soothing his temper with her words. The river goddess, beautiful, cunning, and full of secrets. And where love exists, so too does jealousy. Sango's life was filled with passion and conflicts, as each wife played a role in his destiny. One afternoon, the 3 wives walked through the bustling market of Oyo, where drummers played, traders shouted, and children ran between stalls. Osin picked out beads, Oya tested a sharp spear, and Oba bought herbs for cooking. A village elder watched them and whispered, 3 queens, 3 rivers. Their destinies will never flow the same way. The palace at night whispers, the flicker of torchlight. Despite Sango's love for all 3 wives, tension grew, especially between Osun and Oba. Desperate to regain Sango's favor, Oba approached Osun for advice. Knowing Oba's desperation, Osun played a cruel trick on her. She told Oba that if she wanted to win Sango's heart completely, she should cut off part of her ear and serve it in his food as a symbol of ultimate sacrifice. Trusting Osun's words, Oba did as she was told. But when Sango discovered what she had done, he was horrified and rejected her completely. In his fury, Sango cast her out of the palace. Heartbroken, betrayed, Oba fled, her tears flowing into the great Oba River, forever cursed by her sorrow. Sango's rage. After Oba left, Sango stormed into Osin's chamber. "Why did you do this?" he roared. Osin lowered her eyes. "A test of love," she murmured. Sango turned away, his heart heavy. War drums, the clashing of swords, the cries of warriors. But the gods do not favor a man who casts away love, and so Sango's enemies struck. A rival army marches, fire consuming the city of Oyo. Betrayal came not from outside, but from within. His own generals turned against him. The walls of Oyo crumbled, and the mighty Sango was forced to flee. Sango, standing on a cliff, bloodied and breathing heavily, looks up at the raging sky. And so the mighty king, abandoned and alone, climbed to the highest mountain and called upon the gods. Sango whispering, then roaring, "If I cannot rule as a man, then let me rule as a god." In his final moment of rage, Sango called down a storm of fire and thunder, burning his enemies but also destroying his own palace. Realizing what he had done, he vanished into the skies, becoming the god of thunder. Oya, heartbroken, transformed into the goddess of storms, forever carrying his spirit in the winds. Standing in the ruins of the palace, Oya whispered to the wind, "I will find you again, my love." And the wind howled in answer. But Sango did not die, no. He became the storm, he became the thunder. Priests in Oyo lighting fires in his honor. Cut to Brazil, Cuba, and Haiti, people dancing, chanting his name. From Oyo to the Americas, Sango's name lives on. In Nigeria, his followers still dance in red, calling upon his power. In Brazil, they chant his name. In Cuba, they honor him as Sango. A Yoruba priest raises his staff to the sky as thunder rolls in the distance. And even today, when thunder strikes, the Yoruba people say, "Sango is speaking." Did you enjoy the story of Sango? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful African legends. Until next time, may the fire of Sango burn forever.